So good afternoon, everybody. So this is a new sink setup that I'm working on to give me outdoor running water. Kind of neat. That's that. And I got water. You've seen that little faucet on this channel before, because I've actually had it for a couple of years. I originally got it with the plan to install it inside the van as part of my kitchen sink setup in there. But recently decided I want to go with a more traditional pump and faucet type of setup there with a hand sprayer and everything. So I've got some plans for the van sink at some point when I have the funds. But I had this, so I decided to repurpose it. Now it's my outdoor sink setup. I had to add something in here to lock this onto so it doesn't move around, but that'll come up at some point. So what I did here is that I attached a hose barb directly to the water tank. So if you're wondering, these water tanks have a standard 3/4 inch pipe threading. So I got an adapter here that converts the 3/4 inch down to 1/2 inch, and then the 1/2 inch down to 1/4 inch, and the 1/4 inch had the no, I think this is 3/8. So I'm going from the 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch to 3/8, and then down to a 1/4 inch hose barb, which fit the hose that came with the little faucet assembly perfectly. That was all just stuff I managed to pick up at Home Depot. Now, if I went online, I could probably get something that has the 1/2 inch hose barb directly to the 3/4 inch pipe thread, but this is what was available locally, so that's what I ended up getting. Yeah, so it's not perfect by any means, but it works. And now I can wash my hands, for example, without having to hold the kettle with one hand while wiping the other hand. I can actually have both my hands free while I'm washing my hands under running water. So yeah, I think this is going to be a nice little setup here. This is my first real trip testing this tank setup out. So anyway, if you're wondering where I am, I'm back at Moosalamoo again, over in Goshen, Vermont. Just got in here a few minutes ago. It was a little bit of an adventure getting here. We'll talk about that shortly once I get my cup of tea ready. But it was a bit of an adventure getting here this time. So this trip turned out to be a bit of an adventure. I started out at Russell Pond Campground up in the White Mountains. I didn't shoot any video there because it was just a quick overnight stay. So I figured get in, spend a night relaxing, and then hit the road and come over to... I was undecided if I was going to go to Moosalamoo or if I was going to go over to Evans Notch. Ultimately I decided Moosalamoo, the $15 a night one. But, good tea. But... anyway, I tried to come directly here, and I took a slightly more scenic route. I went up 93 all the way up to 91, 91 over to Route 2, Route 2 over to a brief stint on 89, then back on 2 again, and then down 100B to 100. Beautiful scenery and everything. I actually enjoyed the ride for the most part. But then when I got to, I don't know, about 20 miles out from this campground, apparently there was an accident right at the intersection of 100 and 125, and it was bad enough that they shut all of 100 down. So I got up and a cop stopped me and redirected me and turned me back around again. So 20 miles out, ended up having to turn around, go all the way back to Route 17 over, because there isn't a lot of crossroads in Vermont. Not a lot of options for that, so I had to go back quite a ways to Route 17. Over to 116 to the other side of 125, and then back to the campground from that direction. So ended up adding about 90 minutes to my drive. Fun. So after that, I finally got here, but that was a bit of a drive, and apparently I'm having a problem with the van too, and it's a brake problem. So I'm getting a lot of noise from the front passenger side wheel when I hit the brakes, so I have to check that out when I get back. So I'm going over Route 17, which turns out to be a mountain pass. So I ended up going up over 2,000 feet and then back down again with a van that's got questionable brakes. Yeah, it's been fun. Oh, and that tire there, losing air, the back tire. So yeah, we got some stuff coming up and no money to take care of it, but we'll have to deal with it. Fun times with the van. But, oh well. I'm here. I'm here for 3 nights now. I've just went in, paid for all 3 nights. I'm just staying. It's quiet here right now. I don't suspect it's going to stay that way over the weekend, but right now it's pretty quiet. So I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, so let me show you around the campsite a little bit here. I did things a little bit differently today. So I got my kitchen set up on this side of it instead of next to the van like I usually do. Partially because the dummy forgot to put the canopy for the the roof for the canopy back inside the van. I took it out after the last trip to let it dry out in the yard and forgot to put it back in. So I don't have the roof to it, so I'm not bothering to set up the canopy over there. So instead I got the kitchen set up over here. So I got my new sink that you saw at the beginning of the video all set to go. I love this setup here. Bigger dish drainer here. I don't know if you've seen that in the background of the video yet, but I've got a bigger dish drainer. Got the stove set up right here next to it using the old metal table. This is my blue roller table that's been in storage for a long time but recently pulled out this year. My sitting by the fire table. Whole fan jacks all set up over here. And just kind of a messy storage area right now. I've got my Wolf Link system, but we'll probably play with that later. I had it set up at Russell Pond Campground, but the signal's a lot weaker there. I never bothered fully disassembling it, so I just tossed it back in the van and brought it with me. But yeah, this is what we've got. I haven't even started dinner yet, and it's almost 7. I got in so late. This is all the firewood I have to get me through 3 nights. So I have to be kind of ration it out because that's all I have with me, and they don't sell it up here. This campsite's kind of interesting. It's got a little back area here, so great for a tent camper, I suppose. And come up here and set up a tent. I was gonna look in here to see if I could set up my hammock in this little space back here. This would have been perfect if I could, but the trees are a little too far apart to stream the hammock out on, unfortunately. So this would have been nice though for the hammock because it would give me a nice little private spot with it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I might set it up between these 2 trees up here instead. Don't have the privacy, but it will work at least. There's a few places I could set it up here, but it'd be nice just to have that set up and have a spot to relax. But alright, I'm going to rest my voice for a bit here. It seems to be a little on the weak side tonight, but I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. I'm pretty tired. It's been a long day. I wasn't expecting that long drive today, and getting in here late. If I known it was going to be like that, I would have stayed at Russell Pond Campground for an extra night. But I'm here. I got 2 full days to explore the Moosalamoo area. A couple of things I want to check out here that I haven't seen yet. And just a couple of days just to rest a bit. Anyway, so I want to thank you for coming along for this not super exciting video. I probably should have pulled the camera out as I was discovering that I couldn't get to the campground and what I had to do to get around that. But anyway, I ended up making myself some of my American chop suey for dinner, but I didn't bother putting it on camera because I didn't start dinner until almost 9 o'clock at night, so it was getting pretty dark, so you wouldn't have been able to see much of anything anyway. But we got some interesting dinners coming up on this adventure anyway. With that, as you can tell, I'm getting pretty tired, so I'm going to bed. So thanks for watching. Remember, slow down, enjoy life, and always be kind. I'll catch you guys in the next one.